Welcome everyone to our ordinary council meeting here in Hopetoun, one of our meetings we're having down here. Except for the 17th of March meeting, I would like to declare the meeting open, and I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land which we meet and pay respects to elders past, present and emerging. This meeting is being recorded and will be made public available on the Shire of Ravensthorpe website together with publications of the minutes upon completion. Now, record of attendance, we have myself, Councillor Rachel Gibson, we have Councillor Sue Layton, Councillor Robert Lewis-Seski and Councillor Delorban. We have officers Paul Anderson, which is acting CEO, Natalie Bell, Paul Spencer, Les Waring, and we have Rod McGrath is here as well, and Michelle Gobler is here. And then apologies from Councillor Ben Sutherland. And I'd also like to welcome the public gallery here and make a special mention to two of our candidates in the up and coming special election that we have. Congratulations on your nominations and good luck for the results come 26th of March. So great that you're coming here to have a look. So now we have point 3 is response to previous public questions taken on notice. And these questions came from Mrs. Ainsley Folds. And the questions and answers are all noted below for everyone to have a read. Point 4, public question time. I have here that Lynn Hay would like to ask a couple of questions. Lynn, if you'd like to step up to the lectern and introduce yourself, and you can ask away.
Hi, I'm Lynn Hay, and I reside in Hopetoun. First off, it's a nice one. Thank you to the Shire for the hooks in the showers at the public toilets down there. Hope you swim, love it. Our gear is not sitting on the floor getting wet anymore. So that's a thank you. What I'm going to ask, you can take on and get back to me, whatever. First off is the closing of the 48-hour caravan park. That was supposed to close at the end of January. From what's happening with that one?
Or relocate once the other area was going to.
That's right, we had to look into a location.
Yeah.
So we will take that on notice.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yep, that's fine. The next one is a complicated one. It's to do with the Gravy supermarket. Now, that closed 13 months ago and was purchased by the Futures Fund in November with a statement that hopefully in 6 months it would be up and running. Was a building and structural report done before the purchase of that building?
Yes, it was.
It was?
Yeah.
And found to be viable to...
It wasn't found to be viable at that moment.
There
were some issues found.
Rightio. Costing. So was the costing done before on the specs and everything that was required before the purchase of that building?
Yes, a speculative one, but there was
no hard fast. This is going to cost us if we buy this.
Yeah, it was I think you could say indicative numbers were provided to address the issues that were found in that report.
Rightio. Are these numbers public?
Not at this point because they haven't been confirmed. So it's a matter of, we've got a meeting again tomorrow with the Future Fund that we can address some of these issues.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of getting exactly what it needs done to be open.
Yeah, to bring it up to spec what it's going to cost.
Bring up to spec. And those figures aren't there yet.
Yep.
But we're endeavouring to get them as soon as we can to get it moving.
Yep. Okie dokie. If that's the case, why was it rushed through to be brought? It had been on the market and no one was interested in it. So why weren't the figures and a costing done before the purchase to see if it was actually viable? Because who's going to pay for this? Are the ratepayers paying? Is the Futures Fund paying? Where does the money come back to the Futures Fund? If this is going to run into a couple of $1 million, which it will, to bring it up to spec, to fit it out, ready for someone to lease it, you're looking between the cost of buying that building and doing those renovations, you're looking at $2 million. So why the big rush to go ahead and purchase something without knowing that this is going to cost us or the community, which is the Futures Fund, this amount of money? And will we get that money back to the Futures Fund or to the Shire, whoever's paying it? I just find that it was rushed.
It was obviously the market was closing, but obviously we will take these questions back. I think now, and we've got the Ravensthorpe Hopetoun Future Fund meeting tomorrow, so we'll probably bring them up.
Yeah,
we can talk to them about that and get. Yeah, it has been discussed with them that hopefully they can get something out to the public.
Yeah.
So a bit of information would be good.
Yeah, I'm just finding it disappointing. Like they had a busy bee that was tidy up the front garden. Let's all have a photo, and nothing's been done since. The shop's still full of rubbish, full of food.
That's the discussions tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I hope Town Future Fund will be discussing that tomorrow and coming up with a plan, I think. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Because the community needs to know. It's just I'm not against Ravy having a supermarket, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But if it's costing this amount of money, that's money that the Futures Fund will lose. Because the rent that's going to have to be charged to make it viable to pay back some of what's gone out, you know, and it's not just Ravy that's affected, it's the whole community. Jedicut, Mundlin, Hopetoun, Ravy.
Yeah, we'll certainly take those on board then and then get back to you.
Yeah, so that's my thing, yeah. I really want to know what, there's been no conversation. There's been nothing reported since the 4th of November last year to say, and that was to say that you'd purchased the building.
Absolutely.
And I think we are entitled to know what this is going to cost and who's going to pay. Okay.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lee.
I'll leave this to it.
Thanks, Linda.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to point 5, declarations of interest. We have 2. We have one from Councillor Robert Miliseski, a financial interest on the confidential item 15.1.1, and then another one from our acting CEO Paul Anderson regarding item 12.1.2. That's a financial interest on extension CEO appointment. Point 6, applications for leave of absence is nil. Point 7, confirmation of minutes of previous meetings. 7.1, ordinary council meeting minutes from the 17th of February 2026. The officer recommendation is that the minutes and associated attachments of the ordinary council meeting held on the 17th of February 2026 be confirmed as a true and correct record. Do we have a mover for that? Councillor Orban. Seconder. Councillor Miliseski. Anyone want to speak on that? All in favour? 4-0. Point 8, we have announcements, reports by elected members, and we have them in the agenda. Reports from Councillor Rachel Gibson, Councillor Robert Miliseski, and Councillor Sue Layton. Does anybody have anything they'd like to add to what's in the agenda already? No? Thank you. And also items from Councillor Bennett, sorry. Point 9, announcements by the presiding person without discussion, nil. Point 10, petitions, deputations, presentations and submissions, nil. Point 11, reports of committees, nil. Point 12, reports of officers. 12.1, executive services. 12.1.1, scheme amendment 4, proposed scheme amendment to provide additional use over portion lot 109 South Coast Highway, Ravensthorpe. So the officer recommendation, that council notes points 1 to 5 that are in the agenda. Do we have a mover for this, please? Councillor Orban. Seconder, Councillor Layton. Anyone want to speak on this? All in favour? 4-0. 12.1.2, extension of appointment of interim acting CEO. Thanks, Mr. Anderson, for leaving the room. So the officer recommendation is that council extend the appointment of Mr. Paul Anderson as acting CEO in accordance with the terms of appointment previously endorsed until Friday, the 27th of March. Do we have a mover for that? Councillor Milosevsky. Seconder, Councillor Layton. Anyone want to speak on this?
I think it's a very good idea.
Yep, agree. Very good idea to have someone right to the very end and to do a couple of day handover.
Yeah, a couple of days. It's couple of three, isn't it? Yeah, a couple of days.
Comes in on Thursday the 26th, so there'll be a 2-day handover. Okay, so all in favour? Did I say that? Yeah.
Yep.
4-0.
Take your bags. Better cut that bit out, I think.
12.1.3, Council Policy Review, F1 Related Party Disclosures. Officer recommendation is that Council adopt by absolute majority the amended policy, F1 Related Party Disclosures, as presented in Attachment 1 to this report and for it to be consolidated into Council Policy Manual version 15. Do we have a mover for that, please? Councillor Orban, seconder. Councillor Milosevsky. Anyone want to speak on that? All in favour? 4-0, carries. 12.1.4, Council Policy Review, F3 Regional Price Preference. Officer recommendation is that Council adopt by absolute majority the amended policy, F3 Regional Price Preference, as presented in Attachment 1 to this report and for it to be consolidated into Council Policy Manual version 15. Do we have a mover for that? Councillor Milosevsky. Seconder. Councillor Gibson. Help out. Anyone want to speak on this? All in favour? 4-0. 12.1.5, Council Policy Review, G5A Legal Representation for Council Members. Officer recommendation is that Council by absolute majority rescind policy G5 Legal Representation for Council Members and employees and adopt the new policy G5A Legal Representation for Council Members and for this policy to be consolidated into Council Policy Manual version 15. And I'd like to move that if I can. And do we have a seconder for that? Councillor Milosevsky. And anyone want to speak on that? I'll just speak on that. That is actually came from a question at the annual electors meeting that we had on the 3rd of February from Mr. Norman and a review and adopted policy. Item 12.1.
You need to vote for it.
Oh, did we not do that? Oh, sorry. All in favour?
Go
Carried away. Carried.
Sorry.
By absolute majority, exactly. 12.1.6, Council Policy Review, G5B, Legal Representation for Employees. Officer recommendations that Council by absolute majority adopt the new policy, G5B, Legal Representation for Employees, and for this policy to be consolidated into Council Policy Manual version 15. Do we have a mover? Councillor Layton. Seconder? Councillor Orban. Anyone want to speak on that? I'd speak for it, same reasons for the policy before. All in favour? 4-0. Okay, item 12.1.7, adoption of Shire of Ravensthorpe flag. Okay, officer recommendation is that Council, point 1, support and endorse the adoption of an official Shire of Ravensthorpe flag. Point 2, support the design of the Shire of Ravensthorpe flag to include the logo being displayed in the middle of the flag. And would someone like to move and guess that point? Support a background colour on the Shire of Ravensthorpe flag, another colour, being white.
What?
Councillor Orban, move that.
Yes, please.
And do we have a seconder? Councillor Layton. And then point 4 is also authorise the CEO to arrange for the manufacturer of the Shire of Ravensthorpe's official flag and the installation of flagpoles as required. So do we have a mover for the whole of those points? Councillor Layton, seconder, Orban, Councillor Orban. All in favour? 4-0. Item 12.1.8, proposed location for the site of the Boeing 737 water bombers plane tail. Okay, so officer recommendation is that council, point 1, supports the proposed location of the Boeing 737 water bombers plane tail on land near the corner of Hopetoun Ravensthorpe Road and Jeddah Road. Point 2, authorise the CEO to prepare financial costings to be considered for the Shire's 26-27 budget deliberations for the locating of the Boeing 737 water bombers plane tail. And point 3, authorises the CEO during the preparation of the new lease for lots 759 and 82 held in certificates of title volume 1792 and 529 from 1st of April 2027 to excise portions of land within the new lease for both the proposed location of the Boeing 737 water bomb plane tail.
But actually, both should be out of it. Both's redundant with.
Which one?
Take both out of that last one.
New lease for both the proposed location. There wasn't.
And then do we have a point 4?
Yes.
Variation.
And yeah, point 4 will be that the council notes that the resolution in 30th of 5th, 2025, confidential item 15.1, resolution 3525, council resolved by absolute majority to approve the Mount Short Hopetoun Area Club as preferred its recipient and location of the aircraft tail, but the location for the tail was not found to be suitable. So it's just noting to make sure you haven't gone against your resolution, you've changed the resolution. Done anyway.
Beautiful. Do we have a mover for that, please? Councillor Orban, seconder, Councillor Mleczewski. Anyone speak on that?
It's a great idea. Moving forward.
Yeah.
Yep.
Vote all in favour? Do you say something, Sue?
I'm a member of the Aero Club. Can I vote?
Have you declared an interest? If you haven't declared an interest that excludes you from the voting, you have to vote.
You have to vote, which you did. So 4-0 carried. Item 12.2, corporate services. 12.2.1, schedule of account payments, February 2026. That officer recommendation is that council that the cheques and electronic payments as per attached schedules of accounts for payment totaling $1,143,888 be accepted. We have a mover for that, please. Councillor Layton. Councillor Gibson can second it. Anyone want to speak on that? All in favour? 4-0 carried. 12.2.2 monthly financial report, 28th of February 2026. Officer recommendations that council receive February 2026 monthly financial reports as presented. Do we have a mover for that, please? Councillor Orban, seconder. Councillor Mleczewski. Anyone want to speak on that? All in favour?
Yes.
4-0. Item 12.2.3, budget review 2025-2026 as of January 2026. Officer and committee recommendation is that council, point 1, adopt the statutory half-yearly budget review as presented for the period ended 31st of January 2026 and endorse amending the budget according to the attached budget review report for a total forecast surplus of $1,274,714. And point 2, request the CEO to forward the results of the statutory budget review to the Department of Local Government industry regulation and safety within 14 days of the adoption of this budget review. Do we have a move for that, please? Councillor Orban, seconder. Councillor Layton. Anyone want to speak on that? All in favour? 4-0. 12.3 projects and regulatory services nil. 12.4 infrastructure services. 12.4.1 is water tanker. So the officer recommendation is that council, point 1, endorse retaining the existing water tanker P713A predominantly for firefighting purposes as needed and cancelling its disposal in the 25-26 mid-year budget review. Do we have a mover for that, please? Councillor Miloseski, seconder. Councillor Orban. Anyone want to speak on that? Great idea.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep. All right. All in favour? 4-0. Carried. Okay. 12.4.2 new road names for 2 unnamed roads in Ravensthorpe. So, do we have a councillor move maybe to lay this on the table? Councillor Orban, a seconder. Councillor Layton. So this item will go back to the exec services to do some more investigations. All in favour on that? 4-0. Point 13, member motions of which previous notice has been given nil. Point 14, new business of an urgent nature introduced by decision of meeting nil. And then point 15, matters to be considered behind closed doors. Do we have a mover to go behind the closed doors? Councillor Orban. Seconder. Councillor Layton. So can you please ask the public gallery now to relocate outside and close the door? So now that you're back in, we're just going to read the recommendations. We had confidential item 15.1.1, sale of land for recovery of unpaid rates, property seizure and sale order PSSO on land. The officer recommendation was that council point 1 engage AMPAC collection services, commence the process of taking possession and selling PSSO on land, the following parcel of land to recover unpaid rates and charges at A845 24 Gibson Way, Hopetoun. And point 2, pursuant to section 5.56, rates and service charges recoverable in court of the Local Government Act 1995, proceed with the property seizure and sale order PSSO of land on the following land parcel, which have rates and service is in arrears at A845 24 Gibson Way, Hopetoun. And that recommendation lapsed due to it being an absolute majority.
Sorry. Was not meant to do, sorry.
That's okay. The recommendation lapsed due to it requiring absolute majority, and that could not be met because Councillor Milosevsky had to leave the room. Right?
Yep.
Item 15.2, item 15.2.1 confidential, 25-26 reseal projects update. The officer recommendation that council, point 1, endorse the CEO's decision to award RFQ 03-25-26 hot bitumen reseals to Boral as being the most advantageous to council. And point 2, endorse the CEO's decision to award RFQ 04-2025-2026 10mm washed ceiling aggregate supply to Lawry's Electrical and Civil as being the most advantageous to council. Was moved and seconded, moved by Councillor Milosevsky, seconded by Councillor Auburn, and all in favour, 4-0. Okay. Point 16. Closure of the meeting. Meeting is closed at 6:31.